Buckle up. Welcome to Hannity. Thank you for being with us. We have multiple major developments to bring you, including proof that Comey's deep state cabal spied on the Trump campaign. We have tonight breaking news, an admission from the Ukrainian embassy. In fact, the DNC did try to collude with their government during the 2016 election. We actually have evidence. We're going to show you how the Democratic Party is unraveling right before your eyes. Lawmakers, presidential candidates alike literally melting down because their Russia collusion fantasy, it's over. Anything from here on is just noise. Nothing more, noise. The witch hunt is done. Mueller has gone home. No collusion, no obstruction. They lost, they lied, they conspired, they sent out conspiracy theories and hoaxes. And now the boomerang of justice is in full motion. We start tonight a breaking report from the New York Times, which might have actually gotten something straight for a change. Amazing. They even said, wow, the dossier might actually be Russian disinformation to influence the 2016 election, the one Hillary paid for. But according to the paper, their news tonight, deep state spying against the Trump campaign did occur. A little late, but in a big way. The headline reads, quote, FBI sent investigator posing as assistant to meet with Trump aide in 2016. The article details a London meeting between a female FBI investigator working undercover, a Cambridge professor, and a foreign policy expert named Stefan Halper. Gee, we've talked a lot about this. And Trump campaign advisor George Papadopoulos. He spent 2 weeks in jail. The meetup was supposed to be a foreign policy strategy session. The undercover investigator, well, set up the meeting. Halper was working as a secret FBI informant, and the pair both worked in unison to spy on Papadopoulos to set the Trump campaign up. Quote, the conversation at a London bar in September 2016 took a strange turn when the woman sitting across from George Papadopoulos asked a direct question. Was the Trump campaign working with Russia? Keep in mind, Halper was also set up multiple meetings with Trump campaign aide Carter Page and Sam Clovis, and who was being wiretapped. Another way they spied on the Trump campaign by the FBI after the FBI Director Comey and others obtained that FISA warrant using Hillary Clinton's opposition research, which the New York Times is now suggesting could be Russian disinformation, the phony, unverified dossier, the dirty Russian dossier. Wow. It's all beginning to come into focus, as I've been predicting. None of these spying sessions yielded any evidence of Trump-Russia collusion because there was no collusion. But without a doubt, spying, the Attorney General was right, did occur in the height of a presidential election under the Biden-Obama administration's watch against an opposition party candidate. Who knew what when? We will get those answers eventually. Tonight, Democrats, they are pretty detached from reality. As I said, anything from here on in, it's noise. They can't handle. They couldn't handle the election loss. They can't handle no collusion, no obstruction. But it's over. But watch them anyway.
In the entirety of your previous career in the Department of Justice, including as Attorney General, have you ever referred to authorized department investigative activities officially or publicly as spying? I'm not asking for private conversation.
I'm not going to abjure the use of the word spying. I think, my first job was in CIA, and I don't think the word spying has any pejorative connotation at all. To me, the question is always whether or not it's authorized and adequately predicated spying. I think spying is a good English word that, in fact, doesn't have synonyms because it is the broadest word incorporating really all forms of covert intelligence collection. So I'm not going to back off the word spying.
By the way, thank God for the great intelligence officers that serve we the people. They're protecting us every day, the 99%. Thank God for the premier law enforcement agency in the entire world, the FBI, the 99%. Tonight, though, we know that the deep state aggressively spied on the Trump campaign during and after the election. That's the biggest abuse of power. That's what we got to solve. And if we don't get to the bottom of it, we lose the country. No sign that the Clinton campaign faced any similar scrutiny, even though, as it turns out, well, there was a massive amount of evidence that Clinton and the DNC were the ones, pay close attention, trying to collude with foreign governments. Don't take it from me. Just look at what the Ukrainian embassy confirmed to the Hill's John Solomon, who will join us in a minute. Bombshell new report from him details the government of Ukraine is accusing a DNC contractor named Alexandra Shalupa of attempting to collude with their government, saying that she, quote, sought information from the Ukrainian government on Paul Manafort's dealings inside the country in the hopes of forcing the issue before Congress. According to the ambassador's office, Shalupa also, quote, tried to arrange for the Ukrainian president to comment on Manafort's Russian ties on a U.S. visit during the 2016 campaign. Evidence. This comes after a Ukrainian court found that high-ranking officials inside its government sought to help Hillary Clinton win the election, and admission from Bruce Orr that a Ukrainian lawmaker was feeding phony anti-Trump dirt to Fusion GPS, the firm that, well, yeah, Bruce Orr's wife Nellie worked for, the firm responsible for the bought and paid for Russian lies to influence the 2016 election. Might have been Russian disinformation, according to the New York Times. Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson Tonight. Antifa went on the attack in Portland, Oregon yesterday. One of the victims who was bashed by them joins us just ahead with an account of what happened. But first tonight, it's been a bewildering couple of months for Bill Barr. Imagine you're Bill Barr. Barr first served as Attorney General in the George H.W. Bush administration. That was 1991. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez had just turned 2 years old at the time. That's how long ago it was. Then this February, purely by process of elimination, basically because he was the one guy who could get confirmed, Barr became Attorney General of the United States once again. The Mueller investigation was nearly over when he got the job. Barr probably didn't expect to become a major figure in the Russia story because he had nothing to do with it. As far as we know, Barr never met with secret agents in Prague. He never texted Vladimir Putin on his BlackBerry. He never managed a Macedonian content farm. If Barr betrayed this country for a sack of rubles or a case of vodka, nobody has ever proved it. But it doesn't matter. The Russia story cannot die. CNN, the Washington Post, the Democratic Party, many others have too much invested in that story. The fact it's been proven to be untrue is irrelevant to them. Bill Barr is a handy way to keep Russia in the news. Watch today's talking point in action. Somewhere in the basement of the Democratic National Committee, some messaging consultant has decided that credibility is the most effective line of attack. Watch.
You're now joining the chorus of Democrats saying he should resign. Why?
Well, first of all, his credibility was shredded yesterday.
He played a home game today, and his credibility was destroyed.
This Attorney General lacks all credibility.
He has burned through any credibility he had in that role, and he should resign.
What we have here is what we always have here every single time. We have projection. They call you what they themselves are, whether it's privileged or bigoted or hateful, or in this case, fraudulent. These are the same people who spent 2 full years ginning up hysteria over a bogus story. But it's the rest of us, they tell us with a straight face, who lack credibility. These are the people who hated the results of a Democratic election so much that they dropped everything and worked tirelessly for years in order to nullify that election. So guess what they're calling other people tonight? Enemies of democracy.
The Attorney General joined with his supervisor, the President of the United States, decided to show the American people that this is not a democracy.
Stop this attack on our republic and save this nation, its democracy.
Is simply another step in the administration's growing attack on American democracy. This is a grave danger for American democracy, and it is part of the attack on American democracy by this administration.
English is the largest language in the history of the world. More nouns, more adjectives, more verbs than any language ever. And yet, night after night, we've managed to find tape of people saying exactly the same thing. Almost like it's coordinated. Tonight it's, they're attacking our democracy, says the guy who refuses to wait until the next election to throw out the elected president. Okay. It went on like this today, and on and on. Democrats stopped in the end trying to make a rational case for their position or even use words. By the end, they were resorting to prop comedy. Here's Congressman Steve Cohen of Memphis.
We are looking at images of you at that committee hearing today with what appears to be a bucket of fried chicken. And, oh, there it is. You brought props, I see, with you here. What is the message you're trying to send?
The message is that Bill Barr is a chicken. He was chicken to come to the House Judiciary Committee. He does not deserve respect. He has lowered the bar for lawyers and for the Attorney General.
He deserves no respect. He's lowered the bar, says the guy who just brought a bucket of fried chicken onto the House floor. So how long does this circus continue? And by the way, why is it still in progress? Why hasn't it left town yet?